My first guest once dropped out of acting for 8 years to work as a carpenter. When he returned to acting, he starred in films that have so far grossed $1 billion or so. His latest film opening this week is Blade Runner. Please welcome Harrison Ford. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you for asking me.
Let me ask you a question about what it's like to be a contract player for a movie studio. You did that, huh?
Yeah, it's an adventure from another world. There was, it was 1965, and they were doing stuff that they'd figured out in 1940. You know, it was totally inappropriate to the time and to the people, I think. And they were trying to build stars. I don't think you can do that.
So you go out to Hollywood and somehow they hire you on?
I went to be an actor, and I did a couple of plays before that, but I basically had no preparation whatsoever. I didn't even know what the names of the major motion picture studios were. And about a year and a half later, I was under contract.
And now you own a couple, I would guess.
What?
Is there good money in being a contract player, and what do you got to do to?
Oh yeah, not just money, but the respect. That's $150 a week.
Yeah.
When they told me $150 a week, I thought, I said, yeah, I can afford that. You know, I was so happy to be called an actor that I would have done it for less.
So anything then that they're doing, you have to show up and be in, right?
That was the idea.
Yeah. Any memorable appearances come to mind here?
No.
Yeah.
No.
And now I guess this is when you decided to leave things for a while and you were a carpenter.
No, I lasted a year and a half out of a 7-year contract and almost immediately made the same mistake at Universal. I lasted a year and a half there. And then I freelanced for a while. That's when I became a carpenter.
Yeah. Now, does that still go on? Can people still go out there and get hired on to show up in whatever shows they're doing?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think they do that anymore.
Yeah. And you've come millions and millions of miles away from that to the point now where you can go into a dime store in this country and see, maybe a thermal mug, a lunchbox, with your face on it, right? As any one of your characters. Does that? When you're going by and you see an Indiana Jones mug or something, does that? What is that?
Nothing. I don't take it personally. It does I don't have any relationship to it. I can't figure out what it has to do with me.
Yeah, yeah. And do you get? Maybe this is not a question.
But I steal them.
Do you get any?
And then I tell them that it's me, and it's a very involved process.
Do you get any dough for that? For appearing your likeness on those mugs?
Let's not talk about money.
Okay. Let's talk about something else then. Now, when you first worked with George Lucas, was it in American Graffiti?
Yeah.
Now, as I read this afternoon, he usually doesn't like to keep using the same folks over and over again, but you've worked with him on other occasions.
No, I was real surprised when it happened.
How did that happen?
I don't think he saw me for Star Wars until he'd seen every other living actor between the ages of 7 and 35. and then he asked me, and I tested like everybody else. Agreed to the conditions, and did it.
Things turned out pretty well.
Great.
And as far as Raiders of the Lost Ark, you were not his. You were now. Does this make you feel odd that you were not his first choice for that film either?
No.
Yeah.
No, it wouldn't have occurred to me that I didn't even know about the project. I didn't know Spielberg, and it didn't occur to me that I would have a chance of doing it for the same reason you just mentioned.
Do you know anybody who was in the running before you got it?
For Raiders? Just Tom Selleck. Yeah.
That's interesting. It's hard to imagine him in that film now, although. Would it have been a different? I guess it would have been a different film, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, I know we're going to pause.
Yes.
Now, I was also reading today, somebody, a publication printed that you were doing your own stunt work on Raiders of the Lost Ark, and which seemed to be not true.
No, I wouldn't do a stunt. There are guys much more prepared to do that than me. And to suffer the consequences.
Yeah, but it looked pretty dangerous, being pushed around by that truck, straddling the front wheel of a...
It's the difference between doing stunts and doing physical action.
So
physical acting.
So you were doing some physical acting. And it said that you prepared yourself the best way you could. And you mentioned that even if it included chemically preparing.
I didn't say that.
Yeah, maybe it was the guy, the Popeil man. Said that. Was it? Maybe
I don't.
Stuff here. When he invented the Vegematic.
I was just being silly.
Oh, I see.
Just being silly. I don't remember where I said that or under what circumstances. Probably someplace like this. Where one is encouraged to say anything.
Yeah. You seem now. I know you're probably not most comfortable going around talking about a project. You'd probably rather be home, wouldn't you?
Yes.
Well, yeah.
Not right now.
Well, no, I know that feeling. But did this sort of thing, appearing in front of people, makes you uncomfortable?
No, not here, not with you.
Yeah. So you would say then that you are having the time of your life now, huh?
More or less.
Yeah. Now, do you still do a lot of carpentry work?
No. No, I don't have much time. When I get home, I like very much to do it, but I just don't have a big enough block of time to do it.
And by carpenter, you could build a house if you wanted to?
Yes, I could.
Have you built a house?
No, I confine myself to smaller projects. The same things are involved.
Harrison Ford is here with us. Of course, we're going to take a look at some footage from his new motion picture, The Blade Runner. Also in this half hour, a tour of Times Square, and the president of Ronco Teleproducts, Ronald Popeil. You guys did a couple of films together, I know, back in the 60s.
Ron and I, yeah.
What is The Blade Runner? What does that title mean?
It's the name of the police unit to which the character I play is assigned.
And is this a movie that takes place in the future, or the present?
40 years in the future, on Earth, in recognizable surroundings. Not so much science fiction as a little bit of futurism blended with a detective story.
How do things seem to be 40 years from now?
It's no musical comedy, David. But it's a vision of the future that's an idea for a movie. It's a complex of ideas that are useful in making a movie. It starts from a point of departure in science as we know it now, and projects a few possible changes.
And as you said, in recognizable surroundings.
Yeah.
And this is based on a very popular science fiction novel, right?
Yeah, on an incident from Philip K. Dick's Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep.
All right, and we have, it's an amusing title, but it's not necessarily an amusing film, or is it? Maybe that's...
Well, no, it's not calculated to be amusing, but hopefully it's engaging and stimulating and full of wonderful ideas.
Right. And as you said, it's based only on an episode from that book.
Right.
And the motion picture opens this week, or?
The end of this week.
The end of this week. And then after that, we can look forward to you in the third Star Wars film, correct?
Yes, that comes out May of next year.
And so you're all finished with that project now? Or?
The story concludes itself in this third chapter.
Terrific. It was a pleasure meeting you, and thank you very much for your time.
Thanks for having me.
I certainly enjoyed it. Harrison Ford, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.